Well, it's very significant, but it's a joy, it's a pleasure to be here in Canberra at the government's house, Parliament's house, to meet Prime Minister Albanese, to meet Minister of Sport, to meet all the parliamentarians, and to see that the heart of all of them is beating for football or soccer, whatever you call it. It doesn't matter for this World Cup, for the Matildas, and it's fantastic. And really, what I want to say here is a big thank you to the nation, to Australia, to New Zealand, who is co-hosting the World Cup as well, and to be here to see this enthusiasm in this place, which is of course a historic place for the country, is fantastic. Well, we had a great discussion with Prime Minister Albanese earlier today. I had met him already at the occasion of the G20 in Bali last year. He is, of course, a great leader, a great sports fan, and we will have to cope, of course, with the big demand of girls and boys wanting to play football after this World Cup. I mean, this will become the #1 sport in Australia as it is all over the world. We are working towards that. Every sport is great, of course, but football is fantastic, best sport. The World Cup has been received greatly in Australia and in New Zealand. We have been welcomed everywhere. People are warm. We feel really home from the first day. And obviously now in Australia, after the latest result of the Matildas, going through the group stage and in what manner, this creates a special excitement in the country. So as I was saying earlier, I'm asking every Australian here to hang out of the window, out of the balcony, a flag of Australia or a scarf of the Matildas to show the support for the Matildas and for the World Cup.
Football in Australia is the biggest community participation sport, and our participants are rapidly growing. We estimate at the end of the Women's World Cup that we will see an increase of up to 20% on our participation at the base of our pyramid. And this period is only going to be amplified post-hosting the Women's World Cup. When we bid for this competition, we promised Australia that we would co-host the biggest event since the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games. We promised FIFA and the FIFA President that we would host the biggest and the best ever Women's World Cup. And that's what we are seeing. Today we're seeing football at the centre of every town and city across the country. We are seeing attendance records. We're averaging more than 30,000 per game on the Australia side of the competition. And in the last match, when we played Canada, nearly 5 million people, which is almost 20% of our population, tuned in to watch the Matildas beat Canada. This was the biggest audience for Channel 7 for any event in 2023.
Take a moment to think about how you will contribute to the beyond greatness and what you can do to make sure that this is the starting point of a change in the culture and a seismic shift in women's sport in Australia. Because no other sport, like football, the beautiful game, the world game, has the ability to mark the national significance and to lift our country in the eyes of the world. This is an invitation for us to consider how our country is considered in the eyes of the world. And no other sport gives us the entry to diplomacy and to sporting diplomacy that this world game does.
Fantastic.
So it's a unique one, huh? Thank you so much.
That is awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Looking here. BMO is this way, thanks. This way,
It is beautiful.
Yeah, we'll just do a photo with the minister as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Looking this way, please. And now it's this way, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, dear Minister, for this great welcome here in this beautiful Parliament House in Canberra.
I wanted your poll into the whole deal. Thank you. You ready?